Hello and welcome to this video all about how to drop the codependency baloney. My name is Rebecca Boatman and I'm your new best friend on your dating journey. So make sure that you hit subscribe to this channel and let's dive in. Now, in order to drop the codependency baloney, we gotta know what codependency is. So let's look at different signs of codependency. One sign is that it's hard for you to communicate your feelings. It's hard for you to communicate your feelings and it's hard for you to communicate your needs, wants, and desires in relationship. Another sign is you constantly feel like you need approval. Whether it's from a friend, whether it's from your boyfriend, whether it's on a date, the need for approval is a sign of codependency. Now, here's a really good one. If you have a hard time making decisions in relationship and you're always relying on your man or your woman or your friend to make the decision for you, another big sign of codependency is lack of boundaries. Oh my gosh, Sally, of course! I would love to take you to the airport at 3 a.m. If you have a hard time creating boundaries and honoring those boundaries, then that is also a sign of codependency. Okay, now for this sign, you can let yourself off the hook for once a month because I get it. But if your mood is easily impacted by what others say or do around you, if you catch yourself getting irritated or annoyed easily, then it's also a sign. Now, if you feel an exaggerated sense of responsibility for your man, your woman, your friends, those people around you, even your family, that's codependency. It's codependency. It's codependency. Now, if you find that when you get in a relationship, you spend 100% of your time with that person or with that one friend or with that one person, and you start to then feel isolated, you start to feel isolated from the world around you, it creates a loss of self, which is another form of codependency. Okay, now those are only some of the signs of codependency, and let's now look at why do we want to get beyond it? Because the more we're grounded in why we want to get beyond something, the more likely we are to take the important steps to then reach that goal. So now thinking about the need for approval, right? Not setting boundaries, right? Overgiving, all of these things take energy. So what happens is as we cut these things out, now you have all this energy to put towards what it is that you do want. Now, out of all the signs that I shared with you, I want you to look at which one you relate to the most. And with that, I want you to write down what will become possible for me when I get beyond X. Whatever it is that you related to the most, write that down. What will become possible for me when I get beyond the need for approval? Now, I have coached thousands of women, and something that I see in the realm of codependency all the time is a lack of boundaries. So today, let's take one big important step in dropping the codependency baloney, and that's going to be creating new boundaries. Now, a codependent person usually has weak boundaries because they feel like they need to take care of every single little thing around them. And let's be honest, it's ingrained in us by society, by our parents, by media, by lots of different things to be caretakers. Now, in creating boundaries, it doesn't mean that you have to stop being a caretaker. That's not it at all. It's that boundaries then support you to take care of yourself in a great way that allows you to show up even more powerfully outside. Now, step number one is I want you to look at where you lose most of your energy and create a list. Write out all the areas that you lose most of your energy. For example, maybe it's answering the phone when you really don't want to talk to so-and-so and they're in breakdown or they need support and you always catch yourself feeling like you need to be there. Okay, that would be losing your energy. That's one example. Maybe it's social media. Maybe you catch yourself constantly being consumed by it and it's a lot of energy going there. So look at where do you lose most of your energy and make a list. Okay, now step number 2 is I want you to look back at this list and I want you to circle the one that sticks out the most to you. Step number 3 is I want you to create a new boundary for that area specifically. So wherever you're losing the most energy, we're gonna create a new boundary around that. So if it was the example of, I'm always picking up the phone in the middle of doing something, and then I'm always feeling like I need to be there, or I'm worried, or I'm concerned, if that's it, then a new boundary could be, I go to sleep in airplane mode, right? So I'm not getting calls, and I don't go out of airplane mode until 10 a.m. and I don't take personal calls between X and X, right? This time and this time. So that's just one example. I want you to think of a new boundary that works for you, that is kind of challenging because it's gonna create this whole new way of thinking and being for you, but it's also a boundary that is attainable. And you can also create a mantra with that boundary to support you in honoring that boundary, right? Because that's one thing to set the boundary, and that's another thing to consistently honor it. So a mantra for this example could be, I only answer and talk on the phone when I genuinely can and desire to be present. That serves me, and that serves the people that I am in relationship with. And think about all of the freedom that's gonna open up for you as you no longer do things because you feel like you should, because it's this codependency weirdness that's driving the behavior, right? So think about the freedom that's gonna open up. I'm also gonna be doing a whole another video on how to consistently honor these boundaries. So make sure that you hit subscribe. Also, for my single woman, there are 3 common mistakes that I've seen happen over and over and over again with a good-hearted woman that's keeping their dream love life at bay. So I created a free download for you that gives you these 3 mistakes and how to move beyond them. So you can click the link in the description section below, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah!